the idea for this meeting has been evolving since Brussels last year, when people got together from all over the world to say we need to get Cotonou on the table. But as the conversations went on, two things kept on constantly coming back. That post-Cotonou relationships is, on the one hand, both, well, a threat really, it's to put it mildly, a threat and at the same time a challenge for us, an opportunity for us to reorganize. A threat because almost all the experiences that our countries and our people and civil society organizations have gone through for the past almost 20 years are likely to get bigger and much more potent and much more dangerous. Because we have been through 20 years of a relationship of Cotonou, which described as a partnership, but which we discovered very soon that it's a partnership of a different kind. A partnership, one side is unable to call any shots of its own, and the other side calls all the shots of itself. So we have had the EPA negotiations where we'll be going into details very soon, but we could see that what was supposed to be a good faith negotiations that create conditions for us and our people to realize the opportunities was not as quite what it was. We discovered very soon in the process that each side have their agenda, but unfortunately the side that we come from, the African, the Caribbean, the Pacific, did not quite define their agenda in a proactive way, and they were forced to play catch-up, and the catch-up that was not very good. Our civil society organizations were we actually managed to rise up to the task and provide a counter-narrative so that we could force both government officials, government agencies from the north in Europe and from the south in the ACP to reorganize their thoughts. And we came very far. The problem, though, is that we would have thought that the lessons of those imbalanced relationships would have been learned, right? Especially not simply for the fact that the negotiations were not the best, but also because, as you have mentioned, things have changed. And as the things changed, they exposed the limits of what the relationship was about. The global crisis rose and told people in the ACP that you cannot continue to have a trade relationship defined around aid and be getting people to just give you, ask you to open your markets to them as a way of development. African countries then got up and said they wanted to do their own CFTA as an agenda for themselves. But if you listen to what the Africans and their heads of state are about to adopt in Kigali, in fact today and tomorrow, you'll be a bit frightened. They didn't learn any lessons at all from their engagement with Europe. If you look at the so-called directives that the European Commission has put forward as the ways in which it's going to organize what it sees as the issues for the negotiations, you'll be asking yourself, has the European Commission and European member states learned anything at all from the 15 years of acrimonious negotiations? So my view is that if you listen to the officials, the governments from both sides, they are pretending as if even the way they fought each other and the disagreements they had, that has not made any difference. They are still, going the way, almost the same way that they went. The ACP countries will be meeting in May in Lomé to then adopt a memorandum of understanding. From what I know, they have already structured a negotiating team with countries from Chad and countries from Barbados to be negotiators, but they don't have a negotiating mandate. So there are people who are telling us who will negotiate what topic, but they don't know what they're going to negotiate about. And if we don't take it, they're likely to just do what they did last time, take the European Union's negotiating mandate, copy and paste, cut and paste, and change, where they say Europe, they put Africa, and where they say, they put this. So that's a danger, okay? Now, we cannot allow that danger to be repeated, because if that negotiating process repeats itself again, it will be worse, because we know that the situation of our people has become worse since the negotiations started and since the global crisis. So to go back and reproduce the same process and actually reinstall the same agenda and paradigms would not be good for us. Fortunately, it's also an opportunity, and this is a very delicate thing to say. We can say that civil society organizations have played a very critical role in the way the implementation of Cotonou went forward, right? But as you have pointed out, I think we're all exhausted. 15 years after shouting no to EPAs, and 15 years about doing stand-up, stir-up in the Caribbean, and 15 years about doing something else everywhere has left us all in a fragmented ways. So even though we are still working our own ways, we are still not together as we would be. As Jane put it, the thinking that we have now about the APAs is really at the very beginning. If the African, Caribbean countries and Pacific countries are late in formulating their vision, we as civil society organizations are even later in formulating our own concerns.